超不思議で、応援者はなんか電波を出してるんじゃないか、なんかいろいろ憶測してたんですけど。
ケーブル業者が気がするとか。
前回どこまでやったか忘れちゃったんだけど教えて。これビビセクションやった？これやった？
あ、これはやりましたね。
これはやった。
やりましたね。
じゃあここやってない。
ビビセクションもやったかな。
その次って
要するにかなりさ、こう表現がさ、731ってひどいんですよ。だからこれと多分731の他にも裁判についていろいろあるんで、まあ731はもうできるだけさっと終わらせようと思ってね、先週そういう話もあったし、ただキーワードがいくつかあるんで、それはキーワードはちょっと覚えようかなと思ってるんですよ。でこれ単語がねちょっと、難しいので。
あ、でもなんかその下のビデオなんか見た気がしません？
このビデオ？
フローズンのやつとか。
いいやつですよ。
これやったか、いや、このビデオは
違うんですか？
あれ？なんでかな。これついてないよね。
何ですか？
なんでこうってなんか死んでるよね。
確かにもう。
これということはこのビデオを見て。
なんか
どれ？このビデオ？これで？
The Japanese population had outgrown its natural resources.
これ見てないでしょ。じゃあこれたださ、単語がすごく難しくて、どうしようかな。これビデオのことはこれにしようかな。Okay, today let's start. We're going to we did some part of Unit 731, and today just we're going to start from several 731 forces experiments, and I don't want to explain all of those in detail because too much vivid and brutality. The Japanese military executed many people, Chinese people. But I'm going to explain you some of those keywords for this presentation. So today I'm going to start from BB section. BB section means 人体実験. Okay? This is famous keyword you should keep in memory. And also I'm going to show you some keyword. And this actually they are prisoners. The prisoner was the target for the experiment. Men, women, and children, including infant and baby, everybody, and nobody coming out from this 731 unit. anesthesia means masui. Anesthesia. Without anesthesia, it's terrible what they did. And also, I think you need to. It's very terrible word. They just decomposition is fuhai, karada no fuhai, decomposition. Is there to try to experiment without anesthesia, and also their patients who are alive for experiments. It's brutality, unbelievable. Sort of things is they just amputated in setsudan, limb teashi. Also, they just have the limbs frozen and sold, kaito sold. Okay? Oh, gangrene. Gangrene is eso. Gangrene. Oh, esophagus. Esophagus is shokudo. Esophagus shokudo. They are attached to the intestine. Intestine. Cho. Intestine. This is usually typical, surgery for cancer, connecting esophagus to direct to the intestine, remove stomach. Okay, this is typical surgery for cancer. My father did the same thing. And actually, at least 1,000 Japanese personnel means spread all over China. And this 731 unit is about 10,000 people working there. Maybe you don't see this video, but I don't give you all full video, but just first 2 or 3 minutes. And this is
The Japanese population had outgrown its natural resources, so the Empire of the Sun looked outward, saw the bounty of China, and decided to take what it needed. Their invasion left death and destruction in its wake. Cities, towns, and hamlets were leveled, looted, and burned.
This one is actually, they have serial 1 to 5. And then just the first one.
Rivers of terrified refugees fled the savagery.
That one can imagine. They vivisected people that come up while they were alive. Sometimes
So they explain.
any weapon, notions of morality and warfare were very fluid.
to characterize him as a monster would be
Oh, this is
appropriate.
Mr. Ishii, General.
Because the man has no sense of humanity whatsoever. He loved his children. He was a good father. He was a good husband by the culture standards of the time. But one can say that Adolf Hitler liked children too.
Shiro Ishii was born in 1892 into a wealthy Japanese family. His family owned more land than any other in their community, and with that power came privilege. The Ishii's almost feudal dominance extended to nearby villages. Because of his family's wealth and position, Shiro Ishii grew up arrogant. He had little or no regard for those he saw as being beneath him.
He had no sense of morality. He was loyal to the emperor and to the military, and yet embezzled funds from the appropriations he received. He's very difficult to really kind of pinpoint, except for his almost monomaniacal ambition to develop biological weapons. That's the only thing that's consistent about this man. It's his single minded purpose in life was to become known as the father of biological weapons.
Lieutenant Ishii had a gift for manipulating the bureaucracy of the Japanese army. He soon began to recruit the allies who would help him realize his goal, a state-of-the-art medical research facility in occupied Manchuria, a laboratory over which he had complete authority. Ishii kept his ultimate plan secret from all but his closest associates. But this network of friends led all the way up to the man whom the Japanese considered a living god, Emperor Hirohito himself.
そのあらゆる部隊をですね、創設し、あるいは海外に派遣。
There could be no deployment of military units overseas or biochemical operations without orders from the emperor.
Emperor Hirohito's
Okay, this is yeah, and usually overseas video, overseas narratives talking about emperor's responsibility. Still, just even including Wikipedia, they're talking about whether emperor has responsibility or not. So whenever you're going to talk with overseas people for 731 unit, they are crimes and guilty, whatever. At that time, they're going to ask you, how about Hirohito's responsibility? So you need to prepare how to respond for those people. Okay, so this is at the end of this material. Also, I have question: how do you respond to Mr. Hirohito's responsibility? Okay, just we cannot escape from this kind of question from outside Japan. Okay, this is a terrible BB section, and the next one is another germ warfare attacks. And germ warfare attacks is actually okay. Let me try to read some sentences. Prisoners were injected with inoculation of disease, 接種予防接種inoculation, disguised as vaccination. Vaccination is also 予防接種 disguised. そのふりをしてdisguised as vaccination to study their effect. To study the effect of the untreated venereal diseases, male and female prisoners were deliberately infected with syphilis, 梅毒、general hair 淋病、general hair 淋病 then studied venereal disease. Prisoners were also repeatedly subject to rape by girls. Plague fleas and nomi fleas, infected clothing and infected supplies encased in bombs, and 瀬戸物の入れ物に encased in bombs, or dropped on various targets, resulting cholera, anthrax は炭疽菌、cholera, anthrax. You should memorize anthrax, cholera, okay? And plague, the SMBO plague were estimated to have killed around and possibly more than 400,000 Chinese civilians. And some material said more than 400,000, 500,000 or more than that. Nobody knows, we don't know, okay? Tularemia is うさぎ病。
野党病です。
No うさぎ病。Yeah, so I don't know what the kind of disease is this. But high fever and some so are tested in Chinese civilians. Unit 731 and its affiliated units, Unit 1644 and Unit 100, among others, were involved in research, development, experimental development of epidemic creating bio-warfare weapons in assault against the Chinese populace. Populace means 人々 populace, both civilian and military, throughout the World War II. Plug-infected fleasのbled in the laboratories of MS-731 in 1644 was spread by low-flying airplane upon Chinese cities, coastal Ningbo in 1940. Ningbo is Ningpo. It's coastal big port. Ningpo. Its population is 1.5 million. Huge big city. And Chengdu is the same, 140 million. No, not 100, 1.34 million. Very similar population of Ningbo. Okay? Chengdu, Gonansho, Hunan province in 1941. This military aerial plane killed 1,000 people with bubonic plague epidemic. Bubonic, same pesto. And this means very huge city they targeted. It's possible that 731 methods and objective were also followed in the region in the case of failed experiment designed to validate conjured tetanus toxin vaccine. Tetanus. But I don't know how come they did the experiment at Indonesia. But they did actually, just I explained that the low-flying airplanes spraying cholera and anthrax and other plagues and so forth. This case is unusual case. And video shows every 3 to 1 to 5, but I don't show everything, but I'll show you some of those every slide, every video.
Human research materials.
They just killed people for no apparent reason except to determine how they would react when being killed.
Oh, this one is not
World justice.
this is not the
Isolation and a constant supply of test subjects in order to...
place.
An unlimited supply of funds was provided by the Japanese government for state-of-the-art equipment and anything and everything Ishii required for himself and his staff.
There was a huge building that was called the administrative building. It was so big and so well constructed that at the end of the war, when all of Pinkfong was destroyed, they couldn't blow up the building.
Tucked away in the interior of the administration building was
Actually,
a prison where up to
this one very huge building, and inside 400 people, Chinese, arrested people inside. So very huge building. Destroyed everything, but very huge.
100 men, women, and children could be housed. This was the most secret part of this already top-secret facility. Unit 731 was staffed with the cream of the crop of Japanese scientists and research physicians. The scientists turned the compound into a nightmare laboratory, using humans as test animals. Not only could all types of debilitating biological weapons be developed to use against Japan's enemies, advanced research was done into how to treat Japanese soldiers who may fall victim to such weapons as well as conventional arms attacks. The process of dehumanization began with a twist of the language based on the lie told to mislead the local population into a false sense of security. This cover story stated that Unit 731 was a harmless lumber mill.
These scientists had a weird sense of humor. They referred to their victims as marutas, which is loosely translated as logs. And that's how they thought of them, as pieces of wood, not as humans. You can carve them up, you can burn them in a fireplace, who cares?
was no shortage of this living wood for the construction of Shiroishi's fiendish dreams.
If they ran short of candidates, the secret police would just literally sweep the streets of the city and pick up enough candidates for the lab.
They would be placed on a one-way train ride to Unit 731.
我可是看着火车门这个里边啊，是日本人。这个
The train with 8 boxcars stopped.
往下抬这个人，抬这个人呢。
Soldiers opened the doors and removed what looked like straw mats, wrapped in steel wires. I didn't know what was happening. And then I noticed arms sticking out, and heads moving, and blood coming out. And then the Japanese soldiers yelled logs, so I knew those were people.
The fate of these prisoners was ordained the moment they entered the compound. Not one survived.
その最近で、そういう民族がね。Okay, this is jam warfare attack. Next one is also terrible experiment. Frostbite testing. Frostbite testing. Psychologist Yoshimura Hisato conducted experiment by taking captives outside, dipping various appendages, 10 cups appendage into water, and then allow the limb to freeze. This picture is one cut from movie, Chinese movie, not actual one. This is from movie. I take it one. Which testimony shogun from a Japanese officer said was determined after the frozen arms when stick with a short stick emitted a sound resembling that which ball gives when it is stuck. Ice was chipped away and area dose in water. The effects of the different water temperatures were tested by bludgeoning the victim, muliari bludgeoning the victim, to determine if any area was still frozen. Variation of these tests in more gruesome forms were performed. Their answer was 37 degrees centigrade. They tested many types of frostbite testing. Finally, and then just sewed the frozen hand and legs, and with water. Water temperature is what centigrade or good or not. Finally, they decided 37 degrees is the best temperature to sew the hand and legs. Well, they consider for the northern territory the soldiers, how to protect their frostbite. This is terrible. This one is number 3, and also I show you. I built everything, but one or 2 minutes.
And his scientific team soon determined that the thousands of rats kept at the facility could be used as living flea factories. All that was needed were field experiments to determine the best way to spread disease. And to help Ishii accomplish his first and foremost goal, the creation of deadly and easily deliverable bubonic plague bacteria. Bubonic plague is a horrible disease that causes a high fever, vomiting of blood, shivering, body pains, and
He said bubonic respiratory
failure that results in a dark purple body color. 3 out of 4 people who contract this disease die. But even those odds of survival were too high for Shiroishi. In order to develop the perfect plague, Ishii decided to turn his attention to the surrounding countryside. But Ishii had one large problem. Although he had the perfect bacteria and the perfect carrier, he had to find the perfect delivery system. First, he tried spraying fleas from airplanes. Shoichi Matsumoto was a pilot attached to the unit.
Under the wings, there was a space to attach bombs. Instead of bombs, a basket or something like that was attached. It was almost a meter long and opened on each side and was filled with deadly fleas.
Tests began immediately, and the targets were Chinese villages unlucky enough to be within range. There was no other reason for their selection and no mercy for their inhabitants. In early 1939, mysterious killer plagues began to break out in villages and continued to do so until 1942.
My village is in the southern part of the county, and plague...
Oh, that's a lady, is a very famous lady for moving on in China. Also, she tried to get a testimony from Japanese Civil City former soldiers, and also to submit for some compensation for Japanese trial, and she did a lot of things.
Suddenly broke out in late summer 1942. Suddenly broke out, and 1/3 of the villagers died. 8 people in my grandfather's family died of plague.
Other delivery systems were tried, including poisoning the local water supplies on which the Chinese depended. No matter how these plagues were introduced, the results were devastating to those unlucky enough to be contaminated.
Between 1941 and early November and 1942, there was an outbreak of the plague. The first person infected with the plague was a neighbor, and then it was the families around. Within 10 days, 13 villagers died of the plague.
In 1942, my grandfather, within a short time, could not get up from his bed and died. After him, it was my grandmother, who also was sick and died within a day or two.
The symptoms and toxicity were precisely what Ishii was looking for.
People died. Nobody dared to bury them or carry them. They had to be cremated.
My sister's gland was swelling up on her neck. Her neck was so swollen that it was as thick as her head. So, without any of her loved ones by her side, she went into the field and died by herself.
Not content just to spread plague, Ishii's men even sunk so low as to hand out candy to starving Chinese children, chocolates that were laced with anthrax.
Oh, this is also chocolate candies is handed to the children. This is also anthrax, right?
A highly lethal disease that attacks the respiratory and digestive system. Conducting these horrific tests.
Oh my God! This is frostbite. Next one is syphilis. Syphilis is widespread. Syphilis is because they have got a lot of problem at Nomonhan. Last week I told you, and many soldiers infected syphilis. So this 731 tried to test syphilis using for Chinese people in the jail, prison. And they did a lot of things. Actually, they forced them to make baby and sort of things, and tested for syphilis. Also, they're talking about second paragraph to Benellas forced them to make sex and make baby. Third section is the third paragraph talking about also vivisection, how it progress, disease progress is going on. And the last two paragraphs talking about children, children. Also they are infected with syphilis, and they checked for the status of the children level of the infected situation. It's terrible. But Peter is not in secret.
They hope to fill balloons with germs and float them across the Pacific Ocean to attack West Coast cities.
Oh, but
First
this
to
is
try
he's
they launched
talking
them with
about lie.
explosives. And
Okay, he's talking about lie. This is a balloon. Nice balloon flying to the west coast, he said, but this is lie. In this case, they didn't consider for any jam. Okay? Only the bomb.
has succeeded, they would then launch them with germs.
Of the several thousand balloon bombs launched in America, only 200 actually made it. One traveling as far east as Michigan. Each balloon was designed to carry incendiary devices. While some exploded, causing fires and limited damage, lives were lost in only one case.
Oh, this is just, see, they said 5 families dead by explosion here. And actually, the unbelievable, they fly 9,000 balloons to the States, but at least 1,000 reached in the States.
It touched down on May 5th, 1945, at the site of a church outing near Bly, Oregon.
This one, Bly.
The resulting explosion killed 5 children and a minister's young wife, who was 8 months pregnant. Fortunately for Americans, the war ended before any of Ishii's balloon bombs loaded with germs could be released.
No question in my mind that had the Japanese had the facilities, they would have attacked American cities on the West Coast and as far inland as possible. In war, anything goes.
With 30,000 people in Harbin. And there was another, and in a way even more deadly legacy left from Unit 731. And it began the day the United States occupied Japan.
The United States had a pretty good picture of what was going on by the time of the Japanese surrender. They sent over scientific investigators. The American scientists convinced American intelligence, which was not too difficult to do, that the information they sought was in the best interests of the United States.
And Shiro Ishii was the man who had possession of that information. The end of World War II marked the beginning of a different kind of war, a Cold War that would see the United States pitted against the Soviet Union in a winner-takes-all game of military one-upsmanship. Many perceived it
after the war was because the American government permitted the negotiation and dealing of the matter and did not release the findings to the public.
The Japanese not only kept meticulous records of their nightmarish experiments, but had the foresight to realize that these records might be their ticket to survival after the war. Shiro Ishii himself returned to Japan from China and began to play a game of high-risk poker with the Americans. If they agreed not to prosecute him and his associates for war crimes, he would hand over and decipher his research. It was a hellish proposition, with a sadly predictable outcome.
Okay, so he didn't got the trial, Tokyo trial. She escaped from conviction of World War II crime. Instead, he just delivered those secret information to American military. And those information is top secret in the States. And actually, year 2011, all those several thousand papers was released to the public. and Chinese government takes them all and they investigate the information now. 2002. Okay, syphilis. And last one is rape and forced pregnancy. This one is actually they try to make pregnant, and they check for syphilis status for their baby and children, not only mother. So tested they did. And second paragraph is they try to rape, just for the prisoners. Okay. And I don't read, but show the last video for 555. Oh, no.
But today, the whitewash has been.
What happened? There's no guarantee.
San Francisco, the summer of 1998.
Exhibition
at an exhibit memorializing the victims of Unit 731, those who can never forget came face to face with those who never knew.
There was a larger pattern here of extermination, of genocide,
this is Alice Chan. She's already
which
dead, right?
I think many Americans are just only barely starting to learn about.
Conferences, traveling exhibits, and books have begun to spread worldwide the story of Unit 731's savagery. This dissemination of the truth is part of a larger movement to force Japan to come to grips with its past. A past that many Japanese continue to deny.
Oh, this is a lie. This picture lie.
It is understandably that a proud nation is reluctant to acknowledge its past misdeeds. But a great nation must overcome its pride and face the painful truth.
Maybe this exhibition is not only 731. It's they show everything for Japanese invasion.
Negative about the Japanese role in World War II. Most Japanese are taught that Japan was not an aggressive nation, but instead, because of the drop.
Harbin, a portion of what is left of the compound has been turned into a museum. A tourist
this one, 731
ghosts
museum.
of the past will not be allowed to vanish from memory.
It's not only anger. You have the disgust. I'm an offspring of these people. I have their blood. I must do something for them because I know the truth. So long as you have learned about truth, you just can't.
Okay, she is speak loud, and a lot of things he find out, and testimonies from former 731 soldiers. She got a lot of interviews, but actually I won't show you Japanese opinion.
Turn yourself away from it. You must do something for these people. And also because the Japanese government keeps denying about the war atrocities. These people are human beings. They died just like worms.
The truth of Unit 731 goes beyond nationality or patriotism. It strikes to the heart of the human experience of the 20th century. And as a new century begins, more and more of the truth will be told.
We must have justice for the victims. For the victims' dignity and the rights as human beings. And we must have justice to punish the war criminals.
We at least want them to acknowledge what happened in history, publicly apologize to us Chinese people, and give monetary compensation to the victims.
This time I can't show the somewhere just in video they have some anthrax, infected patient, but I can't find that today. Still survive. Unbelievable, still survive. Okay, this is late. and post-pregnancy. And final one is other experiments. What kind of test they did is, okay, subjects were deprived of food and water to determine the length of time until death. Deprived, about placed into high pressure chambers until death. Experimented upon to determine the relationship between temperature, burns, and human survival. And placed into centrifuges and spun until death. Centrifuge, 각산 가방기구. Injected with animal blood.馬の血で animal blood. 血液型の違う輸血したり different blood injection. Exposed to lethal doses of X-rays. And subjected to various chemical weapons inside gas, chemical chambers. Injected with seawater. And burned or buried alive. This picture shows this is germ testing, and many prisoners is like this, and they try to spread germs. They try to check who will going to be die, and the distance from germ. And the next one is maybe I will not to show this one. This is careful to watch. Maybe you had better not see. Okay, if you want interesting, you had better watch yourself by yourself. Okay, it's very brutality. It's difficult to watch. Okay. So this is all for, no, still I have one more slide, biological warfare. And the biological warfare is they just bubonic plague bomb, and they're using porcelain shells. And second paragraph said what kind of, what kind of germs, anthrax or plague carrier, fleas, typhoid. Typhoid? What's the typhoid? Typhoid. Dysentery is sickly. Dysentery, typhoid, typhoid. Cholera and other deadly pathogens,病原菌 pathogens. And during biological bomb experiment, researchers dressed in protective suits and something like that. Infected food, supplies, and clothing were dropped by airplane into areas of China not occupied in Japanese forces, in addition, so on and so on. Or just I show you a video, the poisoned food and candies. Right. In 2002, Chengdu, this is a place for spraying fleas. Attack. This had convention. They said 580,000 people dead. And American historian said no, 200,000. But anyway, lot of people dead. And the next one is, in addition to Chinese casualties, 1,700 Japanese soldiers in Chekiang were killed by their own biological weapons while attempting to unleash the biological agent. They didn't know that. Okay. And last paragraph is, during the final months of World War II, Japan planned to use plague as a biological weapon against San Diego, California. The plan was scheduled to launch on September 22, 1945, but Japan surrendered. I didn't know that. I can't find that this kind of fact in the material, but they said something like this. Okay. But this video I can show you is not dangerous. Maybe I have. Oh, this. different place.
I had been involved with the Japanese BW program through my association with Dr. Sheldon Harris, who was the leading authority on it in the United States. Well, it was very interesting to me because I was trained as a pathologist, I'm an MD, and so studying patterns of disease is what I do for a living. They described a disease which was quite unusual. They said that after the Japanese left, having attacked their villages in 1942, everyone became sick, or most people became sick, and many, many people died. And one of the diseases that the people contracted and died of was what they called rotten leg disease, which were the appearance of running sores, mainly on their legs, but sometimes other parts of their bodies, which simply wouldn't heal. They were extremely painful. They began as a small pimple and kind of came up from below, and
but still, Japanese government never accepted this.
And very painful, and continued to drain pus for months or years, and for some of them continued for their whole lifetime, which at that time was about 60 years. What was particularly interesting to me is this pattern of the rotten leg disease. When I went there and talked with the people, fit a disease called glanders. Glanders is, to me, a very interesting disease and is important in the investigation because it very clearly shows that these people suffered from a biological weapon that had been delivered by the Japanese.
Yeah, I say many times again for you, this is air bomb using jams, anthrax and cholera, and many people dead. I don't know how many people, half a million or more than that. But Chinese government never says that official kind of incident, what kind of problems. And they just only talking about Nanjing massacre only. And I surveyed many materials. I viewed like this, many YouTube and materials I've read. And Chinese government, they don't say anything at all. So it means, my guess, okay, my strong guess, 40 years ago, or 50 years ago, or Mao Zedong eras, or whoever, but they made some special agreement with Japanese government. Okay, we're going to speak of just only Nanjing massacre. Any other incident, any other kind of problem, we will not open in the public. Even if those people speak loud, but they will not propose any kind of compensation or any code of crimes. Otherwise, it's very strange. This is obvious. This is some many video and they don't say anything. So Japanese people, many people like Shintaro Ishihara said, "Oh, we don't have a Nanjing massacre." He said, "But okay, we did a lot. We did many. We killed many, and Chiang Kai-shek people said 6 million civilians killed, right? Maybe it's 6 million or 3 million is killed anyway. But Chinese government never tells that. Okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm just only the not right wing or left wing, whatever. This is very simple. What is this? Accepted this lady, but they said,
we see.
Oh my God. But anyway, this sort of things is actually that they never speak out, so complain of criticism. I believe that. I believe something behind things. Okay? But this is only I find that nobody says that. I spend I don't know how many hours, 600, 700 hours to tabulate those materials. Then finally, this is my conclusion. So I can't say speak loud, kind of issue. Which means Abe speak out, there's only Nanjing massacre, and also the Xi Jinping speak out Nanjing massacre. They never speak up the other location. This is very interesting, right? This is really is actually
那个
like
是
this.
血毛影响血毛破掉这个毛丝了，掉出来了。人不就昏倒了？
昏倒。出血了以后昏倒。
出血了已经有10次，差不多左右。人都要昏倒的，昏倒。
This is truth.
是。
Not only her, many.
They were subjected to this reign of terror by Japanese physicians and are still suffering to this day from the attack by the Japanese during May to July of 1942, were children of the time, but they had something we call innate immunity, so they didn't die as their relatives did, either brothers or father, but they were infected by these germs, and there was no treatment available then, and so only because of the fact that their bodies could fight the infection, they were able to live, because many of them died later. These people are unique in the sense that their own bodies have responded to the germs causing the ulcers, the rotten leg syndrome, and it worked out a relationship where the germs don't kill them,
people coming
but they don't.
Coming here, so they show the right. Like this.
不干，见小你懂得享受，跟不难的，那个给你位置啦，
Like this, okay? So, anthrax. Okay, this is a biological warfare, and this one. And also 9,000 balloons, American military very much slept on this balloon with jams, or not. But actually, Emperor Hirohito prohibited using jams to the States. And instead of nuclear bomb, Japanese military used that jam. It's America causing invest, you know, but they didn't. Also, this thing, nobody talking about these issues. Which a nuclear bomb is bad or a jam bomb is bad, they're both the same. It's expensive one, cheap one, right? Okay, next one is, okay, this is actually the finish of the 731. I have lots of, I try to skip the contents of this. But you got what they did at 731, right? Okay. I skipped showing the terrible, brutality sort of things what they did. And also I need to talk about US cover-up Unit 731. It's concealed, okay? And the United States cover-up Japanese wartime medical atrocities. Complicity means kyobo kyobo. Complicity committed in national interest, and two proposals for contemporary action. And sort of thing they're talking about this one. To monopolize the scientific data gained by Japanese physicians and researchers from vivisection and other barbarous experiments performed on living humans on biological warfare programs such as Unit 731. Immediately after the war, the United States government secretly granted those involved immunity, meiseki, from war crime prosecution, withdrew vital information from the International Military Tribunal for the Far East, Tokyo Cyber, and publicly denounced otherwise irrefutable 拒否できない evidence, 否定できない irrefutable evidence from other sources such as the Russian Khabarovsk trial. Also, they did the Khabarovsk trial is for 731 trial, okay? And acting in the national interest and for the security of the U.S. authority in the U.S. Trump justice and morality. And engaged in what the English common law tradition clearly defined as complicity after the fact, 共謀. To repair this historical injustice, the U.S. government should issue an official apology and offer appropriate compensation for having a covered-up Japanese medical war plan for 6 decades. I don't know. This is something article they said to help prevent similar act of aiding principal offenders in the future. International Declaration of Code of Human Rights and Medicine Ethics should include a clause banning any kind of complicity in any unethical medicine, whether before or after the fact by any state or group or organization. Okay. 731 is Japan and America is joint complicity. This sentence said. True. Okay. So, this is very short.
There are many who would rather the whole truth was never told. We've come to the Japanese city of Kobe, to the office of Toshimi Mizoguchi.
My translator, Mike. May we come in?
We'd heard that unlike Unit 731 scientists, he's prepared to speak openly.
Gato, we've come to talk to you about Unit 731.
This was the man in charge of destroying the evidence of Unit 731, of burning down the complex and killing the 400 prisoners. He organizes the annual staff reunion party. He showed us a photo of last year's event.
Prisoners were killed in the course of the research at Unit 731.
This is our unit's top secret. It's always been very closely guarded.
At first, he regaled us with tales of the unit's great achievements. It was a water purification unit, a hygiene bureau, a medical college. He finally owned up 3 hours later. Yes, its main purpose was germ water, and prisoners, the logs, were used in experiments, but then they were all spies.
Our unit, Unit 731, was ordered to carry out executions. So, since we had to execute the logs anyway, we believed that it was, in fact, an honourable act on our part to give them the opportunity to offer their bodies to contribute to the development of the human race.
Was there ever a time when you thought the work you were doing at 731 was wrong, was inhumane?
Okay.
Yes. No problem. No.
Okay, this is more mild one. Okay, this is 731 video is very difficult to watch. No? Very difficult to watch. Okay, and US covered up Unit 731, and also they US at the same time did Tuskegee syphilis experiment. And Tuskegee syphilis experiment is they did from 1932. 1932 until 1972 or some sort.
Thank you.
they tested for the syphilis for the rural African American in Alabama under the guise of receiving free health care. And okay, the second product says first at the initial stage there are three in the middle of the sentence 399 men was previously contracted syphilis before the study began. Okay, and also 201 did not have the disease, and they gave some disease even though they don't have disease. Instead, they give them free meal and free medical care and everything else, burial insurance and so forth, right? Okay, and problem is they even if they've invented penicillin, they didn't tell them. They just only tell them only treat it for bad blood. In the last sentence, bad blood, a local term or various illness that includes syphilis, anemia, and fatigue. Anemia, 貧血症, anemia, and fatigue, 疲労. Okay, Tuskegee syphilis project.
So 399 had previously contracted 399. Okay.
Yeah, 399 they had contracted syphilis already. They had disease.
So is that so had previously means not current. So had experience.
Yeah, they the first they started test is 399 already infected people, right?
But they were cured.
Yeah.
They were cured, and so because previous makes before, not now, right?
No.
So they experienced. They had, so they might have so body tolerance against syphilis. So not put it together, but they had 399 of the 600. There are 399 who were previously had syphilis, and 399 who didn't have. Okay.
There is 399 already infected by syphilis.
Well, already, not already. No, when you say already infected, that means carrying disease now.
Yeah, carrying disease now.
But it says previously.
Previously contracted. Previous contracted means previously they contracted syphilis they had.
Right, not already. Previously.
Previously, not already.
Not already. Because already means before and still now going.
Oh, still now going.
But it says previously.
Yeah, but the syphilis never fixed without penicillin.
So these 399 never still not cured.
Not cured.
They haven't had penicillin.
No, they tested. So originally they tried to target 399, but also they additional 201. But 201 they didn't have disease, but they tried to infect disease.
From the 399.
Yeah. So they did terrible testing like 731.
Okay.
And many people dead.
Okay.
Right? So just you have a look at 1 minute. I will show you that they're old. Okay. Those people are like this. Some pictures there. Huh?
African American and desperately poor sharecroppers in Macon County, Alabama. This wicked study was designed to document the progression of syphilis in black men. White scientists had long claimed that the disease manifested itself differently in blacks than in whites. Scientists decided to document this by finding a pool of infected black men, withholding treatment from them, and then charting the progression of symptoms and disorders as these men suffered in pain, eventually falling into insanity and dying. Now ain't that a bitch? The The sad part is, a handful of African American healthcare providers actually worked with these sadists in order to mislead the test subjects for their continued compliance, as documented in this 1997 film, Miss Evers Boys, starring Alfred Woodard and Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, this is a movie or drama?
Now, what you do is you drink your quarter at 19. At the beginning of the month, you get your scar. Double fly stepping in no time at all. Yes, he will. He needs some new doctor.
1997. Yeah, oh, that's really famous, man.
What you doing in that costume? Ain't no costume, it's uniform. You join the hand. Figure it's my world just like it is theirs. Now, what you thinking, nurse? You wanna know how I got in? With bad blood, huh? Gotta be one of them penicillin shots. Get one of them in you, that Watson test don't show nothing bad.
Oh, he said.
Army couldn't wait to take a fine specimen like this. You just go get yourself killed. At least I get killed for something. What he need from them penicillin shots?
He's getting the best of care.
Alright, like the sort of penicillin. He said, right? But the experiment, they never gave them penicillin. So this is just the reason why American government accused, because they experiment and syphilis, they don't tell how to cure this disease, even if penicillin invented. This is their accused government is. So Bill Clinton apologized.
Okay, Bill Clinton apologized?
Yeah, because the government responsibility, they conceived that their sort of test. And then what happened is, this is compensation. Why I prepare this slide? Because compensation for syphilis, but how about compensation 731? If you're going to do the same one, it's like this is 10 million US dollars. But if you're going to compensate for 731, is how much money we're going to need to pay? Oh, 10 billion, no? More, 100 billion, right? Oh my goodness, like this. You can see the syphilis group participant, 37,000, and CARES is 15,000. And control group control group participant, I don't know very well, but maybe people are involved in these experiments, but not syphilis. Okay, number 3, 16,000, and hair is 5,000. And also the question, what benefit do the study participants, wife, sex, wife, so forth? And the answer is this is lifetime medical health benefit. The last widow receiving THBP benefit died on January 27, 2009. THBP means Tuskegee Health Benefit Program, maybe. So this is, and currently 12 offspring receiving right, so. And any of the study participants alive today? No, they did 2004. What did the U.S. Public Health, last one, what did the U.S. Public Health Service syphilis study at Tuskegee become unethical?
When?
Yes, this is because even if they found penicillin, they didn't recommend for this drug to fix it. Right? So that's the reason they just supposed to be unethical. Okay, and this video shows that Bill Clinton apologized. Tuskegee syphilis experiment.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday, Mr. Shaw will celebrate his 95th birthday. I would like to recognize that the other survivors who are here today and their families. Mr. Charlie Pollard is here. Carter Howard. Mr. Fred Simmons. Mr. Simmons just took his first airplane ride. He reckons he's about 110 years old, so I think it's time for him to take a chance or two. I'm glad he did. And Mr. Frederick Moss, thank you, sir. To all of you. I would also like to ask three family representatives who are here. Sam Donor is represented by his daughter, Gwendolyn Cox. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Ernest Hendon, who is watching in Tuskegee, is represented by his brother, North Hendon. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Looks not like Apology, right? But actually, Apology for Tuskegee his husband, Hillary.
It looks like more acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement, right? Acknowledge. Then after that, he's going to explain that what government did, and this is all. Okay. So this is Tuskegee syphilis experiment compensation. At the same time, 731 unit, at the same time, American did experiment like same one. Same syphilis, test.
Same year, same period.
Yeah, 32,
1932. Right, but 1932. Wait, what year was the 731?
731 is around 32 or 30, no, 36 or 37.
Because that's before World War II.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. So the American government also did wrongdoing.
No, I can say America, but I thought 731 was during World War II, so I'm mixing up.
Okay.
So that's from Shino, from second Shino.
Second Shino Japan War.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is moving to trial.
Trial.
But first trial is separate Soviet trial. Soviet trial, they target for mainly for 731. Okay, and also another similar 731 is 1644 Nanjing and the unit 100 in Changchun. And this is trial is so-called Habarovsk work line trial. Okay, and this trial is also target for the last sentence. First part was last sentence. General Otozo Yamada is the commander-in-chief of William Mann Quantum Army, the Quantum Army occupying Manchuria. Otozo Yamada is the head of person. Okay, and those people is under the trial. And the second paragraph says, finally they officially prepared the English language edition and sort of 731 unit. And Lev Smirnov, he is also involved in the Nuremberg trial person, and they officially prepared material documentation. But the United States this is communist propaganda, so they deny this document because they try to conceal 731 unit fact. And they Habarovsk trials speak loud, and also they're talking about those sort of criticize, but actually the American government conceal it. Okay.
Where do you see U.S. refused to acknowledge? U.S. refused to acknowledge the trials.
Yeah, U.S. refused to acknowledge the trial because they don't want to give the information 731 information to the Soviet. Because they Soviet also they got a lot of information from the prisoners, Japanese prisoners. But the Soviet Union they tried to share the information. Mr. Ishii, he got 731 here this from a person, and he got to get the information to Soviet. But America don't want to give the information to the Soviet. Okay, at that time already Cold War started.
Okay, okay, I
So
understand.
America denied this
Sure.
kind of trial.
Sure, not for Japan, but for U.S. protection.
Yeah, so
Okay. I
US said, no, Gem War, sort of, 721 did not exist. This is lie. American government said. And also Tokyo trial, they don't bring up on the desk those kind of issue. Right? So also everything put in secret. And so all this small kind of responsible person is the American government takes them to the state, or some put them under the table and to keep secret what kind of activities they have done in Manchuria. Okay. This is just have to take a picture for this is I don't know who's who, but those people, top 4 people.
So maybe you have already explained, but what does the 731 stands for? What does that number mean?
I don't know. There's no explanation.
Oh, no
731, 1644, and 100. They don't tell me the meaning of those numbers.
Okay, I understand.
And 3 numbers: 731, 1644. That is 1644 Nanjing, and Unit 100 in Changchun.
Oh,
they had
okay,
3.
Okay.
3. Okay. One. This is second one. This is third one. But 731 the largest. 10,000. And all those 2 are going to get together to only 1,000. This is 10,000. Very big. This is very big. Okay?
ということを私たちは、私自身もこう考えたいとこう思っています。
A monument in a graveyard outside Tokyo shows how far they have to go. It's dedicated to the members of Unit 731. There's no such memorial to the victims.
Even now, I don't know where my brother and sister are buried.
Oh, she's.
I know where my father was buried, but the tomb is gone.
She's just below. She's all the way moving around to get testimonies from 731 former soldiers. These are former soldiers.
These slaughterers, these killers of our Chinese.
I don't show everything, but several people is speak out evidence of 731 what they did, but very few people. Because right-wing people criticize those people if they can speak out what they did. So, but she tried to figure out where is those former soldiers in Japan. She's her grandmother is killed by some cholera or something, and by plane bomb. So she tried to find out kind of people who can tell the truth. So she gathered testimonies from Japanese former soldiers. Okay. I'm going to show this one. I want to finish today the submission one. Every good time is Japanese people. And this is a separation of a trial. This is actually denied by American government. And also you should know the Nazi human experimentation. And Nazi human experimentation is very similar to 731. And especially target for Jewish people, but not only Jews, POW, and many kind of arrested people into jail.
Well, even disabled Germans.
Yeah, many people. Disabled Germans. I don't know what kind of disabled German is, but that's right. And the location and the responsible person is explained second paragraph, and the third paragraph is afterward, and they have a criminal court. They said the doctor's trial. So seems they similar trial they have criminals. Okay. Deadly experiment. I prepared video, but I don't want to show it little bit, just a little bit. So this also is very difficult to watch. But I think this kind of experiment, Nazi experiment, is the Japanese experiment more brutality than Nazi experiment.
Japanese experiment is more brutal?
Yeah,
Really?
Japanese, yes. I will show you in detail.
We're going to a disinfection area before
they killed the child, infant, and pregnant lady, woman,
shared the
everything.
same final
Japanese
destination.
means they killed them all.
It was one of the many deceptions which the Nazis used to medicalize the killing process. And the deception was part Jews so that they could be rendered non-resisting victims as much as possible, but partly for themselves, so that they could see themselves as in some way carrying out a legitimate, more or less medical procedure.
Auschwitz was not just an extermination camp. It was the clearest example of German doctrine.
I don't know what they're going to show the town,
So quickly thinking about positive
interviews.
One of the most infamous was Professor Karl Klauberg, a highly respected scientist. He had discovered 2 hormones which increased fertility, a godsend to a country obsessed with increasing the population through eugenics.
Klauberg is a specialist in reproductive means in helping people who had difficulty conceiving, and he also became an ardent Nazi. Was put in touch with Himmler, who asked him, couldn't we do the opposite and have our negative eugenics instead of the positive eugenics for those people whom we don't want to reproduce, namely Jews and other inferiors. And he set his mind to do that and developed a sterilization method.
Germany's vast pharmaceutical industry used concentration camp prisoners to test new products. The Nazi regime encouraged this. It was a lucrative alliance. Professor Klauberg had been invited to use Auschwitz for his experiments.
The sterilization experiments at Auschwitz, carried out by Klauberg, were designed to develop a method.
So those things they did. Sterilization, and I think this Japanese sterilization more horrible thing experiment they did than Nazi. Also Nazi did very terrible, horrible things, but Japanese military is more worse than I believe Nazi experiment.
But why?
I don't know why.
The hatred or interest?
No.
Or just competition? No. Or
why American government so much interested in to release every 731 involvement people, officers? Because this kind of human being experiment, ethnically they cannot do that. But Japanese military did all kind of tests they did, for like every kind, syphilis or cholera or like a temperature or water or any kind of test they did. So kind of factories cannot test by rat, cannot test by any other animal, but they did using human being. And in the history, they don't have kind of test, any kind of test they did, like blood, horse blood injection. This is the reason why, because in that case of no blood, okay, soldier injured, in this case they try to inject horse blood. How much blood injected a human being, how much they're going to die. And also they consider for the blood type, different blood type, inject different blood type, and how much okay, how much not okay. So test they did.
But also I know Nazi did a seawater experiment, about if they inject seawater, then they might able to swim under the, breathe under the water. So Nazi wasn't the same.
Yeah, but the Japanese military is any kind they did, rather than Nazi.
Any kind.
Also, Japanese military salt water they did also same, and not kind of that. They did actually that terrible thing they did. Any kind. Before you come, I just show them. Oh, I show you some one slide.
Okay.
This one. Any kind, you know, just what you said, you know.
Subject for deep water, food and water to determine the mental time and death place.
No food or some high pressure chamber or temperature burns and human survival, centrifuge and sperm and animal blood and lethal X-ray, lethal dose, and various chemical weapons inside gas chamber, injected seawater and burn or buried alive, any kind they did. It's a more wider range of Nazi experiment. Okay, so that's the reason American government want those information, because they cannot test, you know, human beings. They can do it, so they. This is the reason why they just more.
Thank you.
Okay, this next one is very interesting, you know, fact and official government response in Japan. Okay. And I'll read it. This is very important. Unit 731 presents a special problem since, unlike Nazi human experimentation, which the U.S. publicly condemned, the activity of Unit 731 are known to the general public only from the testimony of willing former unit members, and testimony cannot be employed to determine indemnity in this way. What do you mean indemnity? I forget that thing. Indemnity. I just translated already, but I forget that.
賠償？
あ、
賠償責任。
賠償責任。
あ、賠償。indemnity。
損害賠償。
Okay. Cannot be employed in this way. Okay.
So testimony cannot be employed to determine indemnity.
There's a lot of testimony there, but Japanese government says testimony cannot be employed to determine indemnity in this way. Not like in this way means Nazi Germany trial. Japanese history textbook usually contain reference to Unit 731, but do not go into detail about allegations. In accordance with this principle, Saburo Ienaga, he is a famous historian, a new history of Japan included a detailed description based on official testimony. The military for education, ministry for education attempted to remove this passage from his textbook before it was taught in public school, on the basis that testimony was insufficient. The Supreme Court of Japan ruled in 1997 that the testimony was indeed sufficient, okay, and that requiring it to be removed was an illegal violation of freedom of speech. In 1997, okay? And in 1997, the international lawyer Konen Tsuchiya filed a class action suit against the Japanese government, demanding reparation for the actions of Unit 731, using evidence filed by Professor Makoto Ueda of Rikyo University. I just told you Makoto Ueda is at Kompotumo, right? Do you remember? But anyway, all Japanese court levels, found that the suit was baseless. No findings of fact were made about the existence of human experimentation, but the decision of the court was that reparations are determined by international treaties and not by national court cases. This is not Japanese government cannot treat it, okay? Liberation. And in October 2003, a member of the House of Representatives of Japan filed an inquiry. Japanese Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi responded that the Japanese government did not then possess any records related to Unit 731. But the government recognized the gravity of the matter and would publicize any records that were located in the future. This is Japanese government, opinion. I don't check the foreign ministry, the formal announcement. They don't have it, but this is, former Japanese government attitude for this 731. And reading of this sentence, I recognize Chinese government and the Japanese government made some agreement to conceal this fact. This bomb, for German bomb itself, is just only the more than 500,000 people killed, right? But the Japanese government said, oh, we don't know. And Chinese government never criticized the Japanese criminals. It's actually the criminals. Many testimonies of the former soldiers speak out the truth. But this is it. Okay. But the Japanese secret was to just, I forget what it is.
Few people outside China have ever heard of Harbin, and yet it should have the same connotations as the Nazi death camps. Today it is a thriving industrial centre. In the 1930s, when Japan occupied China, it became the headquarters of Unit 731, home to the world's largest biological weapons research complex. At the end of the war, the retreating Japanese destroyed most of the evidence. Some buildings remain.
What's happening?
I don't know.
それはです。1939年5月のハルピに行きました。この細かい条文がいろいろ申し渡されたんですが、今でもはっきり覚えているのは、この舞台では見るな、聞くな、言うな、これが鉄則だと。
What happened here was that Unit 731 perfected the art of germ warfare. Under the command of this man, General Shiro Ishii, Japan's brightest scientists bred cholera, anthrax, and other deadly diseases. These pits once housed thousands of rats. They were used to cultivate bubonic plague. The worst horrors were reserved for this place. Thousands of prisoners were deliberately infected with disease.
Okay, so it's a kind of video. We have lots of videos. So if you want to have a look, you can find out many videos. But the Japanese government never officially, those of testimonies or those evidence, they are not approved the kind of fact. Okay. So Chinese government no criticize Japanese wrongdoing for 731. Okay. I don't know why. So this is the most. Nanjing massacre is very small. This one is very big crime. Okay. So this is the official government response. And next one is just a little pick up International Military Tribunal to the Far East. Okay. This is not relating to 731, but you can keep in your mind, keep and memorize this Tokyo Cyber. And whenever you talk with foreigners, and they have Tokyo Cyber is Class A, Class B, Class C. Tokyo Cyber is Tokyo Tribunal is handled Class A. And Class A, B, C is different by the objective of what kind of reason for criminal. I don't explain detail. But maybe you have better recognize as Class A. Class A is crimes or third line. Crimes or reserved for those who participated in a joint conspiracy to start and wage war. Okay? And were brought against those in the highest decision-making bodies. Okay? Class B is crimes or reserved for those who committed conventional atrocity, conventional 通常の戦争行為、残虐行為、通常の残虐行為、conventional atrocity or crime against humanity. Class C crime is reserved for those in the planning, ordering, authorization, or failure to prevent such transgressions at higher level in the command structure. Okay, this is the ABC. And 28 Japanese military and the political leader is Class A. Okay, 28 Japanese military. And 7 people hung and something like that. And more than 5,700 lower-ranking persons were charged with conventional war, Class B. Okay, and separate trial, Class B and Class C. And Australia, China, France, and so on and so on. And there's many kinds, prisoners abuse, rape, sexual slavery, torture, something like that. And China held 13 tribunals, resulting in 504 convictions and 149 executions. I'll show you later because this is 13 tribunals. It's actually 2 of those after the Communist Party kicked out Kuomintang from China. A new China country established. After that, none of the execution happened. Okay? And Kuomintang people killed 149 executions.
149?
Yeah, Kuomintang. Not communist, government never killed anybody. And the last paragraph they said Nobusuke Kishi, and the other person is Yoshisuke Aikawa is sort of they have criminal but not guilty. And the last one is talking about Indian part, Radabinor Pal.
Pal, yeah.
Yeah,
Dr.
he
Pal.
exonerated all indictees, exonerate, who's that? Tribunal adjourned November 12, 1948. And I'm going to show you the video of Tojo. Oh, by the way, Class A is actually the 28 person and 7 is hanged. I'll just show you a little bit about Tojo testimony.
We needn't comment on that reply.
ただいまの商人の答えに対して何も我々の方から特に何もこれをに対するいいことは言う必要はありません。
That was always a possibility.
その全ては全てそういうことがあったかもしれない。あり得たことである。あり得たことである。あるはずはないということにするわけであります。
ちょっと待ってください。これ確かにこれは外務大臣が知ってるはずはないということを申し上げたんです。
When I said that there could not have been any such a possibility, I was saying that there was no possibility, there was no room for the foreign minister ever to know anything about operational action.
Don't tell you to answer.
Okay, this
これを
is
ぜひこの答えをしろと言って強いわけではありません。
I don't explain in detail what they said. Okay. This is Tokyo treatment. Also, I'm going to show you another one. Fusion or Criminal Management Center. Fusion is vision. Okay. And this is why I show this one, because this is communist China. They got 1,300 prisoners from Russia. Okay, and they are mainly people with 731 people and officers and sort of responsible person, and Manchu called, also Emperor and also brother Pucci and Hui both in this prison. And what I wanted to say is, you can read the second paragraph. They had 1,300 people and tribunal held in 1956, and everybody they had 10 years to 20 years or something. And finally, everybody fled back to Japan.
Re-education center. Re-education center.
Re-education? No, where is the re-education center?
No, so it was the site of the re-education of Manchukuo.
Oh, site of re-education of Manchukuo. This is okay. Former Manchukuo Re-Education Center and Kuomintang Training Center and Japanese prisoners of war. Then after that, Chinese Communist Party succeeded in the Criminal Management Center. Okay, and before under the World War II, this location is Re-Education Center of Manchukuo. Okay, before. Yes. And why I show this? Only this, communist, government, they don't any kill. Nobody killed.
Nobody killed.
Yeah, everybody get them back to Japan, 1300. And Chōwendai is ordered them to do that. At that time, Japanese prisoners treated very well, living environment. So, but problem is after they going back to Japan, and Japanese government and also the right-wing people criticize those people because they are de-educated by communist people. But this is not true. They treated the Communist Party is treated them very well treated, and this is because of I don't know the reason why. But Chiang Kai-shek killed many people, right? 149 killed, but those people, former soldiers quoted by Communist Party Chinese. They saved life.
Right?
Yeah. If they got caught in Chiang Kai-shek party, and many people killed. Because actually the war is actually developed by Kuomintang, not Communist Party. So they don't feel much hate for Japanese soldiers. Some reason is that like that. Kuomintang people they hate because they are lots of soldiers killed. So reparation, something like that. I'll show you some. This one is Fuchun Management Center.
Guo Chun Lai will never forget the day when he saw Japanese war criminals repent in the Chinese court 60 years ago. The 91-year-old Guo, then the prosecutor, said he felt proud to be able to file lawsuits against these Japanese on behalf of his country.
We filed a lawsuit against the 48 Japanese war criminals. 28 of them stood trial at a special military tribunal in Xinjiang. Many of them were high-ranking officials of the Japanese troops.
Guo saw dozens of Japanese stand trial at the military tribunal in Shenyang on June 9, 1956, including Suzuki Keiku. Suzuki was assistant commander of the 28th Infantry Regiment and later lieutenant general and commander of the 117th Division in the Japanese Army that invaded China during the Second World War. He gave orders to slaughter more than 2,200 Chinese peasants, burn down thousands of houses, and lure Chinese and Koreans to serve as sex slaves. According to Guo, it was the first time since the Opium War when Chinese people tried foreign invaders independently. The court produced solid evidence for the offenses.
On and off the trial had lasted for about a month. Other Japanese pleaded guilty because we had convincing evidence on which the defendants had signed and confirmed its accuracy.
Figures show that between 1950 and 1956, 1,109 Japanese war criminals were in custody in China. Among them, 1,017 with minor offenses were exempted from prosecution and released. Among the others, 45 were tried in special military tribunals under the Supreme People's Court on June 9, 1956. Between July 1st and 20th that year, another 28 Japanese were tried in Shenyang. 9 others stood trial in Taiyuan, capital of North China's Shanxi province. None of the 45 war criminals were sentenced to death. They received jail terms of 8 to 20 years.
The result was beyond their expectation because they thought they would have to serve jail terms longer in China, so many of them knelt down thanking Chinese government. The sentences were made on the condition that these criminals all pled guilty, otherwise their jail terms would not have been reduced. We also expected that they could be a living testimony to history, and when they returned to Japan, let others know about the invasion and war.
Both Wang and Guo said after these war criminals returned to Japan, most of them became advocates of Sino-Japanese friendship. Some spent the rest of their lives promoting peace.
Right? So this actually none of them sentenced to death. So at that time, this is actually the Chowenrai, Shuonrai decided. And the other one is Nanjing War Criminal Tribunal. This Nanjing War Crime Tribunal actually the Chiang Kai-shek organized. They killed them all, like this. You can see. Okay, you can see that. 13 tribunals are established by nationalist government and accused Lieutenant General Chujo Hisao Tani. He is Nanjing massacre. Company Commander Captain Gun Kichi Tanaka. Company Commander Captain Kempei Taisa. Second Lieutenant Chui Toshiaki Mukai. And they kill 100 people using sword. He is 2 guys. He made a lot of speech in Japan that he killed 100 people. He told a lie. So no way. He didn't make a speech and he didn't announce that he himself killed 100 people. Maybe they are saved life. But he himself just told them, the audience, many times, not on newspapers, articles. They confessed, I killed. They actually lied.
So there were no confession?
No, they did in the before under the World War II. They made a lot of speech.
Yeah, to encourage citizens.
Okay.
Oh, Takashi, you just come back?
I just finished.
Okay, I just remain only 5 minutes.
Yeah, I said this too late.
Okay, no problem. You just joined. Today you don't need to pay. Okay. But you can have a look, And today I'm going to finish 731.
Nice.
And I tried, new my version of the Skype. So now you can see my video, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And now I can see the file.
You can see the Nanjing War Crime Tribunal slide, right?
Not now.
Oh, sorry, but I think the new version, but you can see it. But anyway, this is the last slide of 731, and Nanjing War Crime. Do you get this material? Okay, by the way, you get this material in Facebook.
Yeah, I did before. I did last week.
Okay. So just killed 100 people, and just interesting is Yasuji Okamura. Maybe you don't know his name. He's a general, Taisho, and convicted war criminal in July 1948 by tribunal. But immediately, Chiang Kai-shek, leader Chiang Kai-shek is protecting. These sentences are just, I don't know why he protects him. As Habib, you can guess why Chiang Kai-shek, And reason is, Chiang Kai-shek asked Okamura, you need to battle against communist army. After World War II. After World War II, they battled actually Okamura, his 50,000 troops battled against Communist Party army. Many people dead. But instead, Okamura get free because of supporting for Kuomintang. It means Okamura betrayed Japan because 50,000 soldiers could go back to Japan, but instead of saving his life, he just sacrificed his soldiers. Right? This is a true story. I find that 50,000 should go back to Japan, but they couldn't. They killed by communist army. But Okamura saved his life. Right? This is the story. And next sentence is he's talking about Okamura confessed what happened in Nanjing. Okay? And first is he said, is it true that tens of thousands of acts of violence, such as looting, ryakudatsu, and rape, took place against civilians during the assault in Nanjing? Second, frontline troops indulged in the evil practice of executing POW. Actually, they killed 30,000, okay? On the pretext of lacking rations. Rations is 食料. Lacking 食料. Pretext, 口実. And also, the last one, Iwane Matsui, the judge was killed, Tokyo Tribunal, and Hisao killed by at the Nanjing court. Okay, so this was 100 killed. This kind of story I just showed you. This slide, Takahashi, you can see this?
I saw an object just coming towards me.
You can see this, right? Takahashi?
No.
No! Oh my god, okay, just I try to change this. This software is the more advanced one of Ed Quitter, but doesn't work. Well, you can see it, right?
Yes, now you can see it.
Okay, this one is, I'll show you this one.
And it was the sword.
As this channel begins to move into operation mode, where we're going to have a website, we're going to have a open forums blog attached to that website as well. As we begin to roll out more into operations about these swords and knife and weapons.
This video, I think, very much manipulated by Chinese government.
This particular show that
this I can show you. It's like this.
Back to a lot of the saber rattles.
Like this. This is a
next to the names.
This one is also
irrigation and
Japanese military. I think this
on
one
his
is,
show.
I don't know where they picked this picture from. Oh, this one is used for that.
During these things.
Oh, this picture is
totally
on Wikipedia.
King was okay.
In Wikipedia?
Yeah, actually this picture is on Wikipedia, Nanjing massacre. But this picture is very skeptical. Actually, the Chiang Kai-shek army escaped from this Yangtze River. At that time also they killed a lot of civilians because they tried to avoid to get into the ship, Only soldiers tried to escape. They killed many people. We are not sure this is a Japanese military killed them, or civilian, or Chiang Kai-shek military killed them. Anyway, both parties also the same with brutality killed many civilians anyway. Which are wrong and both are wrong. Doing actually. Okay, this one is Nanjing crime, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. How do you explain Nanjing massacre to Westerners and Chinese? Okay, this is a Nanjing massacre. Westerners and Chinese. Now you can explain to the Chinese what is Nanjing massacre. Okay, you can, you should. Okay? Second is, how do you explain 731 force to Westerners and Chinese? This is not difficult, very easy. Everything is bad thing worse than nothing. Experiments. And third one, who should be held accountable for the Nanjing massacre? This is they're going to ask you a question. Soldiers, commanding officers, Imperial Japanese government, or Emperor Hirohito. And this is Westerners who ask you the question. You can answer for those questions, right? Okay? And the 100% they will ask you, Hirohito, they are guilty, is it? They will ask you. It's a difficult question, right? And this next one is that international community, especially Israel and so forth, and those countries signed 19 treaty and peace treaty. And the international community have a responsibility to counter and put a stop to denial of Nanjing massacre. Of course, yes, there is a responsibility. And they are talking of denial means Ishihara Shintaro. The other right-wing people. Oh, the Nanjing massacre does not exist. No. They should have responsibility to counter. Or you already neutral person recognize, no? You can deny Nanjing massacre anymore, right? So I think this question is. And what should justice for the survivor of Nanjing massacre include? This means Nanjing massacre survivor, justice for. Justice means like trial or like compensation or something. What include? But this case is okay. This is a difficult question. This is war. Okay? Even if Nanjing massacre they killed civilian, but do we need compensation? It's all over the world. They have a war, civilian killed. Now is like Middle East, all the same, right? And those are compensated? No. This is a difficult question. And the last one is a summary. This summary is I carefully prepared the sentence. much of the brutality faced by the oppressed country during the war is swept under the rug. Oppressed country is Japan, right? But in return, the truth, which may sometimes be less extreme than messages included in propaganda, and eliminate the chance for the oppressive country to apologize. Oh, oppressed country is 迫害された国. Oppressive country is Japan, right? 迫害した国, right? And to apologize for the smaller than noted violence. Japan was said to have caused several thousand deaths during Nancy massacre, but this was blown out of proportion. Blown out of proportion. This is a big question mark, right? But this was blown out of proportion. We can't say that, right? It's a question mark. Right? 誇張された. Maybe this was several thousand deaths, several thousand, maybe several thousand, right? But if you're going to talk about 300,000, might be blown out of proportion, right? And Mao Zedong never mentioned this until he died in 1976. The Chinese government did not mention this massacre until 1976. In 1980s, Japanese textbook had big discussion about this. Since then, the Chinese government started to speak about this massacre intended to be part of their propaganda. Mao Zedong held a ceremony in 1949 after the independence of Nanjing and said that military of Chinese National Party members killed 300,000 communist soldiers. Yes, right. Okay. The memorial they have in Nanjing. It seems that many countries over the world have committed large-scale pillaging, and lavage is also pillaging. Lavage, same meaning almost, right? Lavage, right? And murdering of people during war, one cannot simply look. Hakai, okay. One cannot simply look at the narrative surrounding events of one war and compare it to a narrative of another war. Compare both war crime using measurable factors, figures of actual casualties, number of soldiers responsible for those casualties, then take into consideration who ordered these cruel crimes and motivation behind those crimes. For instance, Unit 731 experiment was supported by both US and Japan, but this is a little bit different, not supported by both. Actually, finally, the America supported, led by Barbara's Lieutenant General Shishiro. The syphilis experiment was cruelly recruiting Africans under the guise of being free healthcare and food promoted by the United States, then being forcefully infected, a disease that causes death. Wartime is no excuse for experiment, massacre, pillaging, and cruelty, but to go about correctly in addressing these issues is for country to report accurate account, take responsibility, apologize to the formerly oppressed, and learn from these Holocaust events in the past and no make them again. Okay. This is finally I'd like to say we don't know true fact what happened. 731, we don't know how many people killed, but this is everything wrongdoing bad. 731, no excuse, right? But Nanjing massacre, we don't know what happened. Kuomintang army killed or Japanese army killed, late, and looting. I don't know how many, what's going on. Okay, this is sort of, but summary is not so much good sentence there. But okay, this is all finished on the long way. We spent a lot of time to spending time for the Nanjing massacre, 731. And then I'd like to, today is finished, but I'd like to, what's that? I'd like to, next week I'd like to, going to this one.
Burma, Philippines, Singapore. World War II. Oh, okay, wow.
And this one is actually Burma railway construction, and what happened for the River Kwai, and there were movies, but movie is almost not true, and I'm going to explain that, and also but the tone was not true, but and how the treatment of prisoners at Burma railway construction, and this is Burma. Second one is Bataan Death March, and what happened for Bataan Death March, and reflection from Japanese. Duterte's President Duterte's U.S. hatred, and why Philippines like Japanese. Okay. And beforehand, the U.S. brutality there in 20th century, before World War II. MacArthur further, actually, he did wrongdoing for Philippines, killed many people. So Duterte knows that. That's the reason why he hates America. And the last one is why don't we all hate Japan? Don't hate Japan, right? They like Japanese. They like Japanese very much, even though Bataan Death March. Actually, Bataan Death March dead many people, but Philippines like Japan.
In fact, the Japanese yen, those cash, those paper, is from Philippines.
Oh, really? Paper.
Yes.
Pulp.
Pulp is from Philippines.
Okay, next one is Sukchin, Shukusei Sukchin in Cantonese, Singapore. Why Singaporean does not hate Japan? But Sukchin and killed 3,000 and 10,000 people, Japanese soldiers killed, but still Singapore don't hate Japan. Why?
Chinese.
But this one, finally, I don't know why. Okay, why Singaporeans were killed? It's prisoner treatment in Changi. Oh, Changi prison is terrible treatment for prisoners. And this is the last one is Hong Kong. And Japanese military killed not so many, but Saint Stephen College massacre, 100 people killed. And also killed, just wrongdoing there. Sort of things next week I try to explain for you. I hope finish for a couple of hours. I hope. And then I finish World War II. I don't want to do that, because it's terrible, wrongdoing Japanese military did. And finally, I find out the Chinese government, don't talk too much about Sino-Japan War, criminals. It's very interesting that happened. Only Nazi massacre. Unbelievable, small things, Nazi massacre. Actually, Japanese military killed 6 million civilian or 3 million civilian, many places, many cities. Like from Shanghai to Nanjing, they have Suzhou, Mushaku, and also the Changzhou, many cities, large cities, 1.5 million to 2 million cities, but they got food from their farmers. It means they kill them all. But Chinese government never tell them, right? This is thing I think some Japanese government, Chinese government, some secret agreement they have. Okay, this is next week. I'm going to do that. Okay, Takahashi.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're going to join this Saturday, right?
Yes.
Okay, in Saturday I'm going to do it on Saturday. Are you going to make presentation on Saturday?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, if you want, you can. This Saturday, Kimoto will not join. So you and me, and I don't know any other people will come on Saturday or not. But
as I sent email to you today, I met the JICA guy yesterday, and I presented the book from and he used to work in Andersen Consulting.
Oh, he's a good guy. Okay.
Yeah, and he got so interested and keen to study the content of the school, and especially the Sun Tzu session.
Oh, so if so, he can join with you by Skype, And also, next time I'm going to meet with you at that time, I'll give you the Vietnam, my novels, former book.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring this book to him?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So today we'll finish. Fortunately, I could finish 731, and next week I'm going to get into the last World War II issue, and then finish everything. I'm going to prepare some sentences, not good sentences, something I need to change. But this July I'm going to publish this Comfort Woman, Nanjing Massacre, and 731, everything else in book for distribute for only for Japanese specific people, not everyone. Okay, this content is very dangerous to right wing and left wing. I'm going to publish maybe 300 books on only the people who are interested in the World War II apologies or compensation, whatever, and what area we need to apologize for overseas people. Everything I picked up. Okay. So today we'll adjourn. Okay. Takahashi, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can join. So.
Oh, that. Yeah, that's my story.
Yeah. Okay. Today is when? Today is February. February. Which day is it?
ラムアクティビティモニターですね。
合計はこれだと
これ16ギガで
14使ってるの？
これすげえ僕タブを開きまくってるんですよ。Google だけなんですよ。Google
クロームはすごいよね。
めっちゃ食うんですよね。止まれよってすげえ思いますけどね。
お嬢さんもう昨日本読まれたそうです。
誰ですか？
で夜2時ぐらいに電話かけてました。
本当？
早いですね。
早いね。
国連アンダーセン辞めて国連に行くって言って、軍の食事に誘われて俺のところで面倒見てやるって言われたの今で覚えてるんで。
すごいね。ありがたいね。
で国連行ってなんかイギリス留学して JICA 入って清水建設行ってで今また JICA でやってます。
世の中狭いね。
やっぱりその JICA とかその大本営的なこう運営についての問題意識が相当強いって言ってました。
ベトナムの本彼にあげてよね。今度はあったら僕はあげるから。
はい、わかりました。
あとね、彼にはね、このコンフォートウーマンナンチーマスが4月に英語の本出すから。じゃあ、高橋いいね。
はい、ありがとうございます。
OK, see you Saturday, right? OK.
お疲れ様です。